Whenever the topic of AI bias comes up, we all tend to point the finger at the algorithm, right? But what if the biggest problem isn't actually in the code? What if it's in our own heads? Today, we're going to dive into the really surprising psychology of how we interact with AI, and we'll see how our own mental shortcuts are creating a seriously dangerous feedback loop with our machine partners. Okay, to get us started, I've got a classic riddle for you. You've probably heard this one before. So picture this. A father and his son are in a horrible car crash. The father dies at the scene. The son is rushed to the hospital. But when they get him to the operating room, the surgeon takes one look and exclaims, "I can't operate on him. He's my son." So, how is that possible, right? The whole reason this riddle trips so many of us up is that it taps right into a super common human bias. Our brains just automatically, without us even thinking, associate the word surgeon with man. The answer, of course, is that the surgeon is his mother. Our brains just take a shortcut and we get totally stumped. But here's where things get really interesting when we bring AI into it. If you take away the riddle part and just state something simple like, upon seeing him, the surgeon says, "I can operate on this boy." Well, a lot of the time, the AI will still say, the surgeon is the boy's mother. See, it's a master pattern matcher. It sees the keywords, car crash, son, surgeon, and just assumes it's the riddle it's seen a million times. It has zero genuine understanding of what's actually being said. And that right there, that fundamental lack of understanding, is absolutely key. It reveals a core flaw in how today's AI models think. They lack something called metacognition. And that's basically the ability to think about your own thinking, to know when you don't know something, and then adjust your strategy. I mean, think about it. We humans can switch gears. We know when to give a quick, fast answer and when we need to slow down and really think through a tough problem. AI can't do that, so it might overthink a super simple question, or, and this is what researchers found with the tricky Tower of Hanoi puzzle, it can just give up. When a problem gets too complex, even with all the resources to solve it, it just stops trying and hallucinates an answer instead. But okay, the AI's flawed logic, that's really only half the story. The other half, and honestly, the more dangerous half, is all about the flawed logic in our own brains when we interact with these systems. This brings us to a crucial concept: automation bias. It's just a fancy term for our natural tendency to put way too much faith in automated systems. A groundbreaking study called Bias in the Loop found that our personal feelings about AI are a huge predictor of how well we perform when using it. If we're big fans of AI, we tend to trust it way too much. And this leads to one of the most surprising findings from that study, something you could call the skeptic's advantage. It turns out people who are more skeptical of AI actually get higher accuracy when they work with it. And why is that? Well, it's pretty simple. Their skepticism makes them double-check the AI's work, so they catch more errors that the believers might just accept without a second. So the crucial takeaway here is that you can't just throw money at the problem. That same study found that offering people financial bonuses for better performance, well, it had no consistent effect on accuracy at all. What does work is fostering the right mindset, a healthy dose of skepticism that encourages us to challenge the machine, not just blindly accept its answers. All right, now let's see how this all builds into a really dangerous cycle. When our flawed human thinking meets the AI's flawed digital thinking, they don't cancel each other out. Oh no, they amplify each other. It's a pretty vicious cycle. Step 1. The AI trains on massive amounts of data that we humans created, full of all our existing biases. Step 2. It starts generating suggestions that just reflect those biases right back at us. Step 3. Thanks to that automation bias we just talked about, we tend to just nod and accept these flawed suggestions. And finally, step 4. Our acceptance gets fed back into the system as confirmation, reinforcing the bias and making the next AI even more skewed. And this whole thing is fueled by our own cognitive blind spots. I mean, look at this data. Just 8% of people think AI will replace their own job, but that number jumps all the way to 29% when you ask about jobs in other industries. This is a classic example of optimism bias, that feeling that bad things are just more likely to happen to other people. So this all brings us to the big question. How do we break this cycle? How do we shift from being passive consumers of whatever the AI spits out to becoming smarter, more active collaborators? Well, the solution really starts with us. We have to treat prompting as a real skill. We can use advanced techniques like chain of thought to make the AI show its work step by step. We can give it personas, like telling it to be a devil's advocate to challenge our own assumptions. And here's a good one. Test its robustness by asking it to argue against its own previous statements.
And on the system side of things, we can design AI to be more like a coach and less like a calculator. This here is a great example. It's a reflective AI called PIP. When you ask it a question, it doesn't just spit out an answer. Instead, it asks guiding questions back to you, forcing you to think more critically about the problem yourself.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit, because this new partnership isn't just changing how we work, it's changing who we are. The very fabric of our society is being subtly reshaped by all these interactions. For one, AI is already changing the words we use. Linguistic analysis shows a huge increase in AI-favored words like delve and meticulous popping up in our own speech. It's also raising concerns that having these always agreeable AI companions could actually weaken our ability to handle messy, real-world conflict. And get this, it's even shifting our moral compass. Studies show that when we get help from AI, we become more consistently utilitarian, more willing to sacrifice one person to save many. And this all leads to a pretty powerful warning from Mustafa Suleyman, the CEO of Microsoft AI. He says the real danger isn't just getting a bad output. It's that we might start to mistake AI's incredible ability to simulate personality and experience for genuine consciousness. And that illusion could literally disconnect us from reality itself. So ultimately, this brings us to a choice. AI can be a powerful coach that pushes us to think more critically and creatively. Or it can become a cognitive crutch that just makes us lazy, eroding our skills and reinforcing our worst biases. The technology itself is neutral. The path we take depends entirely on us.